Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome everybody, guys. Now let's take a look at the gold market. On the gold market situation is in recent days is almost simple as the same as on the other dollar-related assets and the currencies. So across the board, we see the pullback on the euro currency and the British pound, as we have discussed today, the gold and the crude oil. As you know, that has happened due to the comments from the Fed officials who said that the Fed really think that it's really 100% probability that rate hiking will happen till the end of the year, and that has led to the increasing of the dollar value and the corresponding drop in other assets. So you can see at the same time, although previously we said that this upward direction looks really bit fragile and heavy, so market barely has hit the 618 target and even has not reached the overbought test, the monthly pivot resistance one, and turn to the retracement. At the same time, retracement is not very fast. We do not see that retracement is really something like that this one, that one. That's a bit gradual, not small, not really big candles is forming here. And technical market still has chances on the possible upward continuation, because major invalidation point will be right here, almost the same as on the forex markets, on the euro and on the Great British pound, because this is monthly pivot point and that's the low of this extension. So as soon as market taking out of this extension, the C point of the extension, it will erase whole extension, and as a result market should continue to move lower. Another moment that could be useful for us is the approaching to the MACD predictor line. For example, if market today or tomorrow will form the bullish grabber here, that could give us really big assistance and increased chance on the possible upward continuation. That's major points that we should watch for on the daily chart. On the 4-hour time frame chart, some pattern is forming. That is not really very, not quite perfect in the terms of the harmony, because if you use the extension of this shoulder, you will see that the head stands lower than the 1618. That's not very good for the head and shoulders. It's a really significant drop to the bottom of the head. But here, if we'll take a look at the extension of the right wing, the head stands precisely at 1618. So maybe this pattern will work. I don't know. At least currently, this pattern provides the clear understanding what we should watch for to understand that the bullish setup has failed. Particularly speaking, we have to watch for these lows. If market will take out of these lows, it will mean that this pattern will fail. Market will move simultaneously below the weekly monthly pivot point, and in general, that will mean that market will have the destination right to the previous lows. That's why this level is important. That's why if you are bearish, you need to wait when this pattern will fail. So if market will move below these lows, you could start to think about taking the short position. But how we should deal with the bullish positions? Again, from the perspective of this pattern, we could say that bulls could try to take the long position as close to these lows as possible. It's not because we think that market really has very good chances on upward continuation. Even in general, the CFTC report shows the opposite information, because we see that nobody buys here. Nobody puts the money in gold. So we do not see increasing of the speculative long positions. We see that the speculations just close some shorts. That's all. But nobody buys here. That's why we just can't expect to, with a high probability of the upward continuation. We do not see any signs for that. It's really that's why we think that current upward action is really fragile. Still, as market holds the chance on upward continuation, as market is forming the pattern that really, that potentially could be the pattern that will trigger upward action, but at the same time, since the chances on this upward action is not really significant, that's why we think that in general we could take the long position, but we should do this as close to the invalidation point as possible, because that will let us to minimize risk. So if upward action will fail, we said, well, that's the part of the business. We will lose some money, but this loss will be very small. That's acceptable approach to the current trading, because on the Great British Pound, on the euro currency, the market is forming the patterns that point on the downward continuation, and they are very clear, these patterns, as we have discussed today in the video of the Great British Pound. That's why hardly we see a big difference and opposed action in the gold and the dollar-related currencies, just because the driving factor is the same. This is not the term of the gold market. This is the term of the dollar. That's why it's very difficult to suggest that they could move in opposite directions right now. And that's another moment why we think that the upward action on the gold market really looks really fragile. It's phantom. So on the hourly chart, it's not really big importance for us, but still I will show you. Recall, guys, that here was forming the dynamic pressure. This was confidence support, so our recent analysis, and the gap. We said that market could form the butterfly and turn to the upside. This really has happened. This market has started to move up. This butterfly has worked, but that was not sufficient. This market dropped further and just now stands at the fib support and the weekly pivot point. It's the next support. But this really brings not much importance for our analysis right now. Our setup here majorly has failed, because although market has formed the pattern and has reacted on this pattern, this action was not has not get any continuation. It just was the minor tactical reaction on the pattern. That's all. Market has broken through the confidence and reached the next level. So that being said, our major primary object and focus is this pattern, in particular these lows. And probably this riddle will be resolved soon. We'll see what will happen in the nearest future.